Okay, so the project at hand right now is I'm going to be welding up a new rear trailer gate for my landscape trailer. As you can see, the expanded metal was mounted to the bottom of this angle iron, and it's always coming out because you're putting weight on it and the welds can't hold on something like this. And this here, the diamonds are going the wrong way. They're going up and down, so they have no actual traction effect. And these ones here are going the wrong way also. They should be coming up that way so that they grip on a tire. And the whole thing is just kind of weak. So I'm going to be rebuilding a new one out of some 1.5 by 1.5 square tubing. It is 1/8 of an inch thick. And then I also got some new expanded metal, which is only 4 foot. So it'll only come up to here, so we're losing about 1 foot. So here's my metal here. It goes all the way up underneath that table. This one here is 24 foot long, and that one is 12. The expanded metal is right here. So I have my cut list, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them out today. From outside to outside, it's going to be 6 foot 3 inches wide. And then on the inside, it is, the other pieces are 45.5. And then I should have roughly about 4 foot spare for any bracing side to side that I need to do for where the tires are running up on it. Okay, so this here is kind of what we got going on. So you have the 6 foot 3 back there. This isn't the exact placement of where they're going to be. You're of course going to have one in the center, one in the center of that gap, and then another one in the center of that gap, but I just kind of roughly placed them. Then the extra pieces that I have will probably be 1, 2 on the outside section on both sides. I thought about actually having 2 runners right through here. So you would have one more of those. This one would shift over and you'd have another one right there. Then having the runners in between for like where the tires are going on. But it should be okay with this. So now what I need to do is cut out the other ones, place them in there, find the final placements of these, tack everything together, and then I should be good to weld them on. Okay, so I brought this in here so I can cut off these hinges here. I'll be able to reuse them on the other one. So it doesn't look like there's a weld underneath of here. No, there's not. It's literally just this weld up on top. So we'll cut that off with the angle grinder, and then we'll be able to save these to reattach. Okay, so I don't know where I was with the last video because it's been a couple months, but I've changed the design up from originally. So now what I'm doing is I'm not going to have one center and then two on the outside. I'm not going to have anything in the center, actually. It's just going to be these two where the tires are going to run. So I measured both the mowers, and they average the center of the tire being roughly in the center of that. And this here isn't any wider than both of the rear tires. So the idea is that when I pull the thing up, the rear tires are riding on at least one of these directly. Now, if I get this perfect, they'd be riding actually right on the outsides of them, and it'd be perfectly fine. That way, then, I don't actually need to put any cross members in there. I might put one if I have the spare material. But now what I need to do is call the steel supplier so I can get another one for there. And then I should be able to fully weld this thing. Okay, so got a couple passes on each one of these. So they're all good enough. I will take the gate back off eventually and get the undersides of them. So I also knocked off the old pieces that were holding the gate up. I'm going to try and grind down this as much as I can so I can get the new way to attach it. That'll get me enough to weld onto there. Other side. Okay, so this is a pretty significant jump from when you guys saw it last. It's completely done, except I got to put some caps here on the ends. So I painted it, primed it and painted it all off camera, just because it's kind of boring to watch. Here's the way that it attaches. Piece of angle iron off of here that's welded on, and it just got a hole through there. This one here is I think that's a 5/8 hole. These ones are both 1/2 inch. That just gives it a little bit of wiggle room for it to be just a little bit off, because if you wanted to do 1/2 inch, you're pretty much having to get straight in, and those are 1/2 inch pins. So you just pull those off, slide it out, and you're good to go. You got the springs on here also, and I also mounted a handle on the side here, on the driver's side. So I got a little bit of touch-up paint to do from getting it out here, but overall I think it'll be good enough. Best thing to do would be to let this paint sit for like a week or so to let it harden as much as it can, but you know, I just can't do that. So the only thing left to do is to put the license plate on there, so I will go ahead and do that. But I got ordered right now some steel, because I'm going to replicate that again. You know, that runs through there, ties together all the cross members. I'm going to put 2 more in here, pretty much right in the center of where those mower tiles will sit. So they will just be right in the center of where this is. I think it was 37 inches wide, so it'll be roughly around in there. I also have to rewire this thing. It's only been a year since I redid it, but the corrosion is starting to get to all the wires, so a bunch of stuff just doesn't work. I was out here for like an hour fixing everything this morning, so I'm going to add a junction box in the front, junction box in the back. Hopefully that'll keep stuff a little bit weatherproofed better. So, gate is done. I will see you guys in the next one.